Okay. Welcome to Computer Science IGCSE, and we are on paper number 2, and we have done the topics of chapter number 8. This is our logical operators, and in this logical operators, you have a greater than sign, and you have a lesser than sign. Look, you can see here the operators. In Python, you use the same. This is lesser, this is equal, this is greater than or equal to. This is a confusing part. Many students did not know what is that thing. This is not equal to. Remember, if you see this symbol somewhere in your paper, it means it is not equal to, right? And in Python, you
Yeah.
have to write it down in this way. Look. In Python, the way of writing the things are a bit changed. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now today's lesson is all about the procedures and functions. And there we go, procedures and functions. So when writing an algorithm, there are often similar tasks to perform that make use of same group of statements. Yes, let's suppose you're writing a program, algorithm, and in that program or algorithm, you are going to write a same statement all the time. Same statement means the statement which have a single use, right? You're using same statements all time. So look, it makes your program lengthy in this way. Look, so it makes your program lengthy. It takes a time to debug. So it takes a lot of time to maintain that type of programs. So is there any way to cut down this repetition and make our program short and precise? Yes, there is a way. Instead of repeating these statements and writing new code every time, many programming languages uses of subroutines, right?
Yes.
Uses of subroutines.
Subroutines.
Subroutines means that you are going to use it in your program and you are going to make your program easy to write, to debug, and to understand. So we have subroutines. Subroutine is also known as procedure, and you can name it as function. You need to be very careful in this case. You have two names of subroutines, procedures and functions, right?
Yeah.
So what is the work of subroutine? Tell me.
The work of subroutine is basically to like cut like your program in shorter and to make it more precise.
Okay, so instead of using the same code all the time, you are going to call subroutine in your program. So subroutine minimizes the length of your program, make it very short and precise. How do we do this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Procedures, functions, and parameters. A procedure
Yeah.
is a set of programming statements grouped together. This is a word. Grouped together under a single name. So if you are going to use a procedure in your program, the first thing you need to use a name. So you can say a variable. Yes, you can take a variable. And in that variable, you can declare your program statements. And then that can be called to perform a task at any point in the program. So in procedure, you are going to call your statements anytime in the program, right? Call, C-A-L-L. So if you're going to define your procedure, of course, you apply a name on your procedure, and then you can call the procedure name. Simple. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. A function is a set of programming statements grouped together under a single name. Again, under a single name that can be called to perform a task at any point in a program. Wow, both are same. So what is the difference? Let's see. In contrast to a procedure, a function will return back to the main program. Yes, in procedure, you are not going to use return. But in function, you are going to use return if you want it back to your program, or if you want it to print your program. So you use a return. Instead of print, you use return. So return moves your value back to the main program. Any confusion?
Nope, pretty good.
Now, what are parameters? I told you with procedure, with function, you have to use that name. I called it as variable, but in functions and procedures, you called it as parameters. So this is a type of a variable. Look, so parameters are the variable that stores a value of the arguments passed to a procedures or functions. Yes, you are using a name in a program in which you're going to store the statements. That statements are stored in a parameter. So you can call them with the name or with the parameter and they will work. Some, but not all procedures and functions will have parameters. Yes, there is a condition. So we will later study in this topic that we use parameters with all procedures or with all functions or not. So I'll teach you this thing. But first, what you have to do, you need to write down the definitions of procedure, function, and parameters, right? I'm waiting. Okay, after procedures and functions, we need to work how they work. So first, we're doing procedures without parameters. It means we are not going to declare the variables. We are just going to declare simple procedure. So right here, we have a procedure. Can you hear me? Okay, so we are going to start with the procedures, but this time we are doing it without parameters. So we use a word procedure, you can see here. Then we need to use a name of the procedure stars. Okay, then what output? And you're going to make these statics as stars. And then you need to use AND procedures. So whenever you wanted to print these stars anywhere in the program, anywhere in the, and how many times it doesn't care. So you just write call stars in the program. While you type call stars on your screen, these statics will be printed. So this is a benefit of using procedures.
Yes.
Did you get it or not?
Kind of.
Let me tell you again. Let me tell you, and I'm typing it this time so you understand it better. Okay, you need to use procedure. And then whatever you wanted to write, like you want to print stars in your program. So you write procedure with the stars. Print, and you wanted to write a type stars like that, 6 stars. And then you need to write AND procedure. So if you want stars in your program anywhere in your algorithm, you just simply write call and simple stars. So instead of writing stars or printing a star, computer is going to print the static thing, this thing in your program.
Yes.
So this is the benefit of procedure, that you are not going to use this type of code again and again. So in Python, originally, you are going to write DEF, define stars with a blank parenthesis, because we are using it without parameter. And then you need to write print stars. So in this way, you are going to use in Python. So in Python, the things are different. In algorithms, the things are different. This is for algorithm, right?
Yes.
Copy down quickly. You have only 2 minutes. Okay, now it is often useful to pass a value to a procedure that can use to modify the action taken. For example, to decide how many stars would be output. Yes, like in a procedure, you are printing stars. But if you say, sir, I wanted to add this thing that how many stars, like it depends
Oh,
on,
nope.
I want 8 stars, I want 10 stars, I want 15 stars. So this is done by passing an argument when the procedure is called to be used as a parameter. So now we are going to use parameter to enhance our program. How? Let's see.
Yes.
You can use procedure. You can use word star. And look, this time you are using parameters. What is the name of this parameter? Tell me. Number.
Number.
What is the data type? Integer. So while
Integer, yeah.
the word stars, the computer asks you how many stars. So you press 10 or you input 10. So the computer is going to see for counter 1 to number. What is the number you input? You input 10. Output star. Next, counter. So in this way, the computer is going to print the stars, 10 stars in this way. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10. So counter is used here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So 10 stars are there. So you can see here, we use procedure stars. Then we use declare counter. Why counter? Because the counter is a loop which is going to count the number of iterations. How many iterations you want? Tell me.
It's 10.
10. And how many stars you want? 10. So of course, 10 times your programs will iterate in this way. Look. If you press 7, look, you write call, you write the procedure name, stars, and how many times? 7 times. So it means 7 times your loop will iterate. How many times? 7 times. Is that clear or not clear?
That is clear.
So you use with a parameter right here with the data type. So number with the integer. Integer is a data type. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Please copy down with my concept. Now we're going to start another topic that's called function. Function is also called subroutines. Remember this word. Function is also called subroutines. And
Subroutine.
if they are going to ask you subroutine word, so you must know that they are talking to you about functions or procedures. Functions or procedure. But the question arises, how would you identify that subroutine they are asking, and what type of subroutine you are going to write, function or procedure? So let me teach you this point again. If they write subroutine, which calls the variable, it means that you are going to write about procedure. And if they ask subroutine, which return your value, right? Return value. So
Yes.
you mean that it's function. So subroutine calls a variable and subroutine returns a variable. That's called function. And the subroutine which only call the variable is called procedure. Is that okay?
Yes.
Any confusion?
Nope.
Okay, let's talk with the functions topic, how it works. A function is just like a procedure, except look, it returns a value. Just
Yes.
like a procedure, it is defined once and can be called many times within a program. Yes, you just declare the function at one time, you can call it millions of times in a program. It doesn't care, but it always a return in the program. So you just call, if you see a return word anywhere in the program, you come to know its function. So unlike procedure, functions calls are not standalone. Instead, can be made on the right-hand side of an expression. So you can see here, look, you're using a function What is the name of the function? Celsius. Okay, Celsius is a temperature, you know? So look, they use here Celsius. And what is Celsius data type? It is always real because temperature is always in point. And look, it's return real. So while you see a return word, you come to know that it is function. And then again, you're using return with the formula because whatever you type in the temperature, look, you type 36. You type 36 in the temperature. So the 36 temperature uses here, it is going to be subtracted with the 32, then divided by 1.8, and then your answer will be return. Return means print on the screen. Is that okay?
Yes.
And then you need to write AND function. So you can see the return is used as one of the statement in a function to specify the value to be returned. Like in the whole program,
Yes.
you say you wanted to ask the temperature. So if you're going to write return temperature, then it means it is going to be used in the program and print on the screen. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what you have to do first, you need to write down this point, the box I have made for you. I'm just dragging it down so you may easily see. And then you need to write down the function definition from here till here. And then you need to write down this whole example. Quick.